Supplements are treated more as a food than a drug. So they're not regulated for safety, quality, performance in the same way that a pharmaceutical drug would be. Hey there, I'm Dr. Mark. Over the past 5 years, I've worked with nearly 600 individuals one-on-one, from NCAA swimmers to pro ice hockey players to entrepreneurs to grandparents to everyone in between, helping them recover from concussion, optimize their performance, and get back to their life. On this channel, we talk about concussion recovery, sports performance, nutritional strategies for recovery, and all kinds of fun stuff like that. Today, we're going to dive into the world of supplements, and just a heads up, I'm going to piss off a lot of supplement companies and influencers because I'm about to expose how you actually pick a good supplement. And the reality is that a lot of supplements in the health, fitness, wellness space are just shit. So by the end of this video, you'll know how to evaluate supplements based on real science, trusted certifications, and the right research to make sure you're getting high quality products that actually work. Let's jump in first by defining a supplement. So we'll talk about it kind of didactically, academically, legally here, and then we'll talk about my soapbox rant version of it. So supplements are products that are designed to enhance your health, your fitness, your recovery, some sort of aspect of like your physical well-being, mental, emotional well-being. So it includes vitamins, minerals, amino acids, botanicals, and other sort of nutraceutical things, usually put to pills, tablets, tinctures, things like that. There's also a category of supplements that athletes might be familiar with called ergogenic aids. And that's just a fancy way to say like a supplement or something nutritional that's there to enhance your performance. Most commonly, you're going to hear ergogenic aids talked about like creatine or caffeine. Those are the most researched, the most reputable, the most evidence-based, and they do improve your performance, like power, endurance, things like that. So my soapbox rant on supplements is that supplements should be intuitively that. A supplement. They're there to supplement a good foundation. And the analogy that I love that I stole from Dr. Paul Anderson is don't mow your lawn while your house is on fire. So the analogy goes is obviously mowing your lawn while the house is on fire is a low priority. So the house is your foundations of health, your nutrition, your movement, your mindset. So your sleep quality, the food you're putting in your body every day, how much water you're drinking, your social connections, your sleep quality, blah, 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 blah. The things you know you should be doing are your house. If you're mowing the lawn while your house is on fire, if you're taking supplements while your lifestyle is shit, it's not useful. So with that in mind, how do you choose the right one? You want evidence that the supplement actually delivers on its promises, whether it's improving health, performance, or whatever you're taking it for. And the reason this is important is many over-the-counter supplements just don't do that. So from a safety standpoint, what's on the label should be what's in the pill. The reason that's important is that supplements are not so strictly regulated. And that can be, depending on where you stand, that could be like a good thing. It could be a terrifying thing. Where this comes from, there's DSHEA, so the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act of 1994. So this means they can be sold without the same rigorous testing that maybe a pharmaceutical drug would have to go through. Under DSHEA, under the Dietary Supplements and Health Act, Health and Education Act, supplements are treated more as a food than a drug. So they're not regulated for safety, quality, performance in the same way that a pharmaceutical drug would be. And that leads to a risk of low quality supplements over the counter, because if I don't have to prove anything and I'm just in it for making money, great. I'm going to fill this supplement with whatever. I'm going to make a generic claim and I'm going to sell it. Now, not everyone is evil. Not everyone is like that, but capitalism does work that way. And we live in that world. There's a really interesting, heavily cited study where it found that over-the-counter melatonin, so a lot of people taking melatonin to sleep, over-the-counter melatonin supplements varied by minus 83% to plus 478% of the total labeled amount. So if something said it had 3 milligrams of melatonin, you might have 83% less than that, or 478% more than that. And that makes it kind of sketchy. So we live in a world where almost anyone can make a supplement. They can put almost any health claim on it. It can't be a specific like treatment claim, but they can say cardiovascular health, sports performance, whatever. How do you know if it's legit? One of the ways is to look for trusted certifications. We're going to start with the baseline. So the baseline certification to look for to ensure quality is current good manufacturing practices, so CGMP. CGMP, however, does not guarantee that the product has been independently tested for what's actually on the inside, but it is sort of a minimum to ensure safety in the overall manufacturing process. So the next step, make sure at a minimum it's got CGMP. The next step is look for third-party testing. That's going to add your confidence that what's on the label is what's in the bottle, and what's in the bottle is actually appropriate for what you're taking it for. It's also an extra level of confidence that it's free from any harmful contaminants. So there's nothing in the pill that's also not on the label. So examples of third-party testing would be NSF and USP. So NSF is the National Sanitation Foundation. This is a very trusted third-party certification that ensures supplements meet safety and quality standards. And then there's also USP, so the United States Pharmacopoeia, and this is a certification that guarantees the product contains the ingredients it claims, free from contaminants. And this is especially important for your health supplements, immune supports, things like that. You don't want a bunch of heavy metals in that. You don't want things that are not supposed to be in there, relevant to the formula, whatever, in there. For athletes, NSF for sport. So NSF certified for sport is essential for athletes. It ensures that the supplements are free from banned substances and it's safe to use in competition. So that's the other thing is you've got the World Anti-Doping Association, WADA, that has a list of supplements, a list of compounds that are not appropriate for sport. They are ergogenic aids that have been banned from competition. And sometimes those slip their way into sports performance supplements, pre-workouts, things like that. And so you want to make sure that you've got a minimum of the NSF certification. But if you're a competing athlete that has to worry about that, NSF certified for sport. So let's recap a checklist for how to pick the right supplements. So look for trusted certifications. Look for NSF, USP, CGMP, NSF certified for sport. If you're an athlete, athletes can also look up informed sport or informed choice to make sure there's no banned substances. And ideally, at a minimum, it's CGMP, but check for that third-party testing. So NSF, USP, NSF certified for sport. I keep echoing that, but make sure that you've got the third-party testing. And then if you want to do your extra homework, research the manufacturer's reputation. Research the company's reputation. Are they new, fresh off the street? Have they been around for a while? Have you seen other athletes using them? Isn't always a great recommendation though, because you want to make sure that, again, it's not like an influencer cash grab, but that the athlete is actually repping a CGMP, NSF for sport certified supplement. And then beyond that, focus on supplements with proven benefits. So I know there's lots of people that will find supplements on Amazon. They will find supplements through WhatsApp groups. They'll find supplements all over the place. I get patients bring in supplements all the time and they're like, you haven't heard of that? And I go, no, there's a billion supplements out there. Even if it's not the company, focus on the ingredients that have reputations backed up. Magnesium, omega-3s, creatine, caffeine. If you want to go beyond that, talk with a licensed healthcare provider. Final recap, when selecting supplements, always check for certifications, good manufacturing practices, NSF, USP. These certifications ensure that the product meets relatively high quality standards and that they're not contaminated with potentially harmful and or other stuff that you don't want in that supplement. And really emphasizing that third-party testing, NSF, USP, athletes, NSF for sport. The right supplement can help with performance and recovery. I use nutritional supplements clinically, effectively all the time in concussion rehab, post-concussion rehab. They can be wildly useful, but I don't recommend just anything out of Costco, CVS, or your grocery store. I'm recommending specific brands that I know and trust because they meet the quality and safety standards. So with all that said, what is in your supplement routine for health and performance? Go ahead and let me know in the comments. I'd be curious to learn about any more reputable brands if you know any. And if you want to learn more about how to recover from concussion, optimize your performance, nutritional strategies for recovery and performance, and all the things of the like, thank you for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the YouTube things. I try to answer all the comments within about a week of seeing them. So I try to engage with you guys. Until next time, I'm Dr. Mark. Thank you for watching.